Well, the countdown to LA28 is officially on tonight, with the Summer Olympics set to begin in exactly 2 years.
Yes, CBS LA's Rudabeh Shahbazi is live at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood with an inside look at the venue's Olympic preparations. Hi, Rudabeh.
Hi, good afternoon to both of you. Well, the state-of-the-art Intuit Dome will host basketball. It's one of many venues hosting events for the Summer Games, and it's right in the middle of the Inglewood Olympic Zone. And there's actually an event inside Intuit right now called Road to 2028, and it's focused on climate initiatives to improve air quality ahead of the Games. Now, here's a look at the map of the zones across Southern California. They stretch from the San Fernando Valley down to Orange County and out to Pomona. Here in Inglewood, in addition to Intuit hosting basketball, less than a mile away, SoFi will host the opening ceremony and swimming. I recently sat down with the LA28 CEO, Reynolds Hoover, for a wide-ranging conversation. We talked about everything from security concerns to ticket sales to new details on how to volunteer. And the big question, will SoCal be ready?
Are you where you want to be? Or do you have any concerns? And where do you want to be a year from now?
Yeah. So we are absolutely where we want to be, both in commercial revenue, both in our ticket sales, where we did our first ticket drop in April, where we are in planning, where we are in hiring. And it's not just me saying that we're on track. The IOC, the International Olympic Committee, was just here a month ago, and they said that we are well ahead of where we need to be in our planning and are fully confident in where we are and what we're doing.
During the World Cup, there were 600 reported drone threats around the facilities. Are you concerned about that? And how have security threats evolved since the 1984 Olympics?
Yeah. Well, of course, in 1984, nobody thought about drones. In 1984, we think about it, nobody, we were carrying around brick cell phones in a bag and thought we were the coolest cats on the block, right? No one thought of cyber threats back in 1984. And indeed, in the 2000 Winter Games, where I was and helped coordinate the military EOD bomb squad support to the Games, it was right after 9/11, and still the threats were different then than we're faced today. And the fortunate thing for us is we have the Secret Service, who's the lead coordinator for all the federal, state, and local law enforcement support and emergency first responder support, to be able to respond now to cyber threats, to the counter-drone technology. And we saw during World Cup the number of intercepts that they did in drones. And so I feel really confident that our games will be the most secure games that we've seen in the United States because of not only the interagency coordination, but because of the counter technologies that we have as a nation to defeat our adversaries.
And volunteer signups just went live.
Just went live today.
How are you vetting them, and what are you looking for?
Well, we're looking for a lot of things, right? So we're vetting them based on experience of prior games, specialized experience that they might have if there are translators or they have a medical service background, first responder background, administrative work, logistics work. So we're looking across the board at all kinds of capabilities, right?
And of course, volunteering is no small commitment. People need to be willing to commit 10 days. 1984 Olympic gold medalist Carl Lewis joined the LA28 volunteer crew today at this cleanup event at Griffith Park to get out the word about getting involved. And if you don't want to wait until the Games to get involved, volunteer opportunities across Southern California are already available. Applicants must be at least 18 years old, proficient in English, and available for 10 shifts, about 8 hours each during the Games. If you meet those requirements, you can fill out an online application, which you can find on cbsla.com. And if selected, you'll be invited for an in-person assessment if you live in the area. Those offered a volunteer position will then be trained for the role and the venue they're assigned to. And we are just getting started talking all things LA28.
There is this friction between the organizing committee and the city.
The leader of the 84 Games talks to us about the financial risk being taken at LA28. Plus, more of my conversation with LA28 CEO Reynolds Hoover.
Are you confident the city isn't going to be on the hook and taxpayers will not be on the hook?
Yeah.
We'll show you what he has to say about the ticket price controversy.
All right, thank you so much, Rudabeh. We'll see you again at 4:30 right here and then throughout the 5 and 6 p.m. newscasts. Exactly 2 years now until LA hosts the world's top athletes.
CBS LA's Rudabeh Shahbazi live at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. And, you know, the venue is getting in the zone for LA28, Rudabeh.
We are getting in the zone, and Intuit, which will host basketball, is only about 2 years old. SoCal's existing infrastructure is one of the reasons we were awarded the 2028 games back in 2017. It's expected to keep costs down, and LA28 says these will be the first games in 80 years that don't build any permanent new venues. And LA will be the only third city in history, besides London and Paris, to host the Summer Olympics 3 times. Someone who was deeply involved in the 1984 LA planning spoke with our Jasmine Veal about the big challenges that are different this time around, from funding to transportation.
It was 1984. The Olympics arrived in LA for a second time with 23 sports and more than 6,800 athletes.
This is our mascot for those games.
4 decades later, Southern California is still seeing the lasting impact from the iconic spectacle.
We also hold the 4th or 5th largest collection of Olympic memorabilia in the history. And obviously our 84 collection is the largest.
Renata Simrel, the president and CEO of the LA28 Foundation, a youth sports organization created as a legacy of the 84 Games, shows us their exhibit on how the Games changed the Olympic movement.
Section 1 is the team that did the most improbable of hosting the first privately financed games in history.
As the first privately financed Olympics, they generated more than $232 million in surplus. A percentage of that created the LA28 Foundation, which also acts as a valuable resource.
It's just a treasure trove of stuff.
1984. A rare glimpse into where they store the thousands of Olympic documents that are not digitized at their LA headquarters.
It's going to be impossible for people to look to 28 without looking back at 84 and saying, how did we get here?
Rich Perlman would know. He was on the 84 Olympic Organizing Committee and still covers all things Olympic. He says one major difference from 1984 is the financial risk facing the city. Under the host city agreement for the 2028 Games, LA is legally responsible for covering any shortfalls in LA28 revenues.
There is this friction between the organizing committee and the city relative to the city's expenses relative to making the games a success.
He says LA28 needs to work on building up public confidence. LA28 is balancing soaring security costs and a much larger Olympic footprint with an estimated 15,000 athletes.
They can do things which will get the public to cheer for them and want them to succeed and not surprise them with ticket fees that they didn't know were coming.
Back in 1984, there was no public rail transit. They had a campaign called Take the Bus. But with an estimated 1 million extra trips per day during the games, Metro is racing to make it car-free with the goal that these ticketed spectators will take public transit to the venues.
I think the World Cup is one example of that.
Simrel says the 84 Games left a blueprint. Now the challenge is proving LA28 can build on that.
I do believe that the Olympics always finds a way.
In Jefferson Park, Jasmine Veal, CBS LA.
And you heard Perlman mention there the possible friction with the city. I asked the LA28 CEO, Reynolds Hoover, about that dynamic with the city of LA ahead of the games.
What has that relationship been like between the Olympic Committee and the city? Has there been any tension, any disagreements on anything, or is it going smoothly?
Yeah, so look, the city of LA is the host city for our games, and so we work very closely with the city. Sometimes we have disagreements, and sometimes it's a little tense, but at the end of the day, everyone from the mayor and city council, Marquise Harris Dawson, city council president, Paul Kokorian, who heads the Office of Major Events, we meet with him every week. We're all committed to the same thing, and that is to make sure that LA shines on the 14th of July, 2 years from today, 2028, for the world to see how incredible we are, how incredible Angelinos are.
And take a look at this. This is a rendering of what Metro is calling the Games Route Network. Caltrans creating dedicated LA28 lanes to move athletes, spectators, and public transit quickly and reliably between venues within committed average travel times. Olympic momentum and excitement are revving up as more community events kick off. LA28 says it will invest up to $160 million to drive youth sports access across the city. And recently, more than 13,000 kids were invited to take part in LA28's Day of Sport. They got to play in Olympic Games, meet former Olympians and Paralympians, and take home some gold medals. LA28 officials say the goal of this event and future ones is to empower the youth who could someday become Olympians themselves.
Making them fans, helping them learn about the sport, giving them balls to go home and play with, giving them medals for, the values that come with being an Olympian or Paralympian. We want to introduce as many people as we can to the Olympics and Paralympics, get them involved and get them enjoying sport as much as we do.
This year's Day of Sports had the highest participation rate since the event started 3 years ago. And Jim Hill is joining us now. And Jim, one of the local Olympians you're tracking is attempting another comeback after 11 medals.
It's really amazing because we talk about athletes from other areas. This athlete is from right in this area in Los Angeles and doing some wonderful things. She is the most decorated track and field athlete in the Olympic history. But Allison Felix hopes to really add yet another chapter to her legendary career. The Los Angeles native has come out of retirement, and as our Darren Haynes helps us to look at right now, she's going to attempt to make history when the Olympics return to her hometown in 2028.
It's about what's possible. It's less about performance and more about, human possibility.
No American sprinter has ever competed in the Olympics in their 40s, but Allison Felix hopes to change that in 2028 when she'll be 42. And it's her heart and championship drive that has got Felix back on the Olympic trail.
It's interesting. I never thought I would, but I kind of just had this feeling that kept coming back to me of could I? Is it possible? And, as you age, it was just a big question to me, what can I do at this age?
Wanting to come back is one thing, but being capable of competing at an unprecedented age is another. But Allison has put in the work and believes she can do this despite the obstacles.
It's grueling, so to do the workouts and to make that commitment, and could my body withstand these workouts? And so once I kind of saw, the times, and I just wanted to make sure I could, be competitive and all of those things. And once kind of those indicators were there, then I was like, okay, I think I want to give this a shot.
And this comeback isn't all for just Allison, as she hopes to provide inspiration for females everywhere.
I also felt like there was this narrative put on women that when you turn 40, you really should be doing less. And so I was I kind of put it to the side for a while, and then I couldn't stop thinking about it. I just felt like I wanted to give it a go.
As Allison continues her quest for a 6th Olympic Games, she does so as a mother of 2 children. And this comeback has actually been beneficial to all parts of her life.
It's really felt like a gift to myself to slow down and to say okay, I don't have to be everywhere. I can do this, and that allows me to show up for my kids and, to be at the baseball games and, whatever they're into. So I'm really excited for this time.
So nice to hear from her, so inspiring. And Jim, we pulled some video from the 1984 Olympics, and you know what we found?
I hope not.
We found some familiar faces.
The U.S. trailed 25-23 before Cheryl Miller and Pam McGee started the USA back on a 20-4 blitz, and the Americans never looked back.
That's Jim in 84 talking to Olympic gold medalists and basketball stars Cheryl Miller and Pamela McGee. Does it feel like it was just yesterday?
Day before yesterday.
Yeah, day before yesterday. Well, here it comes again.
It was, it's really amazing what the ladies have done then and what they're doing now. They are still role models for all of our young people, and especially our young ladies, and being terrific role models. We're very, very proud of them. And I'm very thankful to them for helping me make my career.
And we're proud of you for still being here.
You got that right.
All the time later.
All right, Rudabeh and Jim, thank you so much for that. We'll keep checking back with you throughout the hour. Exactly 2 years now until LA28, until 24 months until the Summer Games is in SoCal. Is it in the home stretch, or is it going down to the wire?
Well, CBS LA's Rudabeh Shahbazi live at Intuit Dome in Inglewood with the preparations of Olympic proportions. Rudabeh?
Yes, good afternoon to both of you, and it's no small feat. The organizers here will have to be ready for 17,000 fans for each basketball game here at Intuit, and those fans are trying to get their hands on tickets. Yesterday, I sat down with LA28 CEO Reynolds Hoover for an in-depth conversation, and we got into an issue that's still top of mind, and that's ticket prices during the first drop.
There was a lot of disappointment among Angelenos who couldn't afford the tickets. They were promised $28 tickets in some cases. They went up to $5,000. There were 25% service fees in some cases.
Yeah.
There was a lot of disappointment around that. What do you say to those people, and did you learn anything from that experience for the next ticket drop?
I would say that our tickets and our ticket prices are commensurate with the market and market pricing. We've done a lot of research and a lot of data collection on pricing for the games. Look, the ticket sales are another avenue for us to be able to fund these games. And so it's important that we offer a full range of tickets from the $28 tickets and on up. When we sold over 4 million tickets in our first drop, there was nearly 500,000 tickets at $28 that were sold. And there's more to come. We also have a community ticketing program in which we'll have tickets available for venue cities, people who live in and around our venues. But I feel very confident about our tickets. We have something for everyone, and and I stand by our ticketing. I think it is reasonable. I think when you look at the average price, we were still under $200, the average ticket price of the 4 million that we sold, and I think our prices are very competitive to any of the major league sports just in the LA market, but across the country.
If the budget does fall short, if the profit does fall short, the city is on the hook to pick up the extra costs in terms of trash collection, traffic, those kinds of things. Talk a little bit about how that works, and are you confident the city isn't going to be on the hook and taxpayers will not be on the hook?
Yeah, I am confident that we will deliver these games on budget or with a surplus, and we will not be requiring the city to step in and execute their guarantee at the end of the day. And we're going to do that by delivering a safe, efficient, and cost-effective games.
And back to the tickets, some people who already bought tickets may have noticed a small refund today. It's a ticket tax refund, and it's for people who bought tickets for basketball here at Intuit Dome or for the Columbus, Ohio football matches. LA28 reps say it was a local tax that was incorrectly charged for the refunds for Intuit. They're mostly under $11. And if you weren't part of that first ticket drop, your next chance is coming in about a month. The next ticket drop will take place between August 10th and August 20th. And if you're already registered and you didn't get a slot last time, you will automatically be entered into the second drawing. If you're not registered, you have until a week from tomorrow. That's July 22nd. But unlike last time, this ticket drop is open to the general public, not just locals. Well, about 20 miles southeast of here in Inglewood is another major Olympic zone. Long Beach is hosting more events than any other city outside of LA, 11 Olympic sports and 7 Paralympic sports. Just last weekend, AVP Beach Volleyball held their first matches in the city in 6 years. The event featuring the world's top volleyball players gave people a preview of what LA28 may look like.
We've hosted large-scale events from the Long Beach Grand Prix to 85,000 people a day at the Vans Warped Tour. We know what we're doing, and we're prepared.
And the city has a creative workaround for hosting so many sports. It's building temporary venues. We're going to talk more about that ahead at 6. Also, we are really feeling the heat out here, I got to be honest, so we can only imagine how hot some of the outdoor venues will be for the summer games this time of year. We're talking to the chief medical officer later at 5, who's making the plan to keep everyone healthy and safe. Pat?
All right, thanks so much, Rudabeh. We will see you in a bit, too.
What's the biggest challenge you faced so far?
The LA28 Games, a monumental task. The man in charge of it is opening up about the layers of challenges.
And CBS LA's Rudabeh Shahbazi is live in Inglewood tonight. That's why she's not here. At the Intuit Dome. And Rudabeh, when you asked him about the most difficult part of planning, it became clear that there are a lot of moving pieces here.
So many moving pieces, Pat. We covered a lot in our conversation. You can watch the entire interview on CBS LA's YouTube channel. But when I asked him about the most challenging part of the planning process when it comes to the games, just listen to how many logistical hurdles came up.
It's not just planning at each one of the venues, our 51 competition venues across the board, or building out in Olympic Village for over 11,000 Olympic and Paralympic athletes, but it's dealing with all of the stakeholders. So it's not just the city of LA, it's all 88 cities that make up the county. It's not just dealing with the city of LA and the county of LA, it's dealing with the state of California. It's not just dealing with the state of California and the city of LA and the county, it's the federal government. But then pile on top of that the 36 sports that are part of the Olympics, and each of one of those have an international federation that governs their sport, or they're the ones that tell us what the field of play has to look like, what kind of equipment you're going to use. They're the ones that set the rules for competition for their athletes, okay? But then on top of that, every single sport from every single of the 206 countries that is coming, each one of them have a national governing body for their Olympics that brings their team. So in our case, Team USA with the US OPC in Colorado Springs, times 206, and we deal with all of those people.
So no pressure there for him. Reaching the podium at the Olympic and Paralympic Games takes more than talent. It also takes top-tier health. CBS LA's Lori Perez talked to LA28's chief medical officer about a large-scale pop-up medical facility that's being developed for all 15,000 athletes.
Someone used the analogy of the Super Bowl, and they say, imagine putting on the Super Bowl 7 times a day for 3 weeks. That's what it's like to put on the Olympics and the Paralympic Games.
As head team physician for the LA Rams, Cedars-Sinai sports medicine specialist Dr. Casey Batten happens to know a thing or two about Super Bowls. So who better to oversee medical operations for LA28?
I think a lot of people have asked, how did you get this role? And I, to be honest, I don't really know. Probably the most important credential is just having those connections within the medical community, within the city of Los Angeles, and understanding how to bring all these resources together.
It's an enormous task, creating a temporary healthcare system to serve more than 40 competition sites.
We basically will be converting a student health center into a multi-specialty medical clinic that'll have orthopedics, sports medicine, general medicine, emergency medicine, dental, eye care. At each venue, we will have medical stations that will serve both athletes as well as spectators. Every venue will have a dedicated medical staff.
More than 10,000 elite athletes will compete in the Olympic Games, another 5,000 for the Paralympics. Batten says it's not injury that will likely derail someone's shot at gold, it's illness.
Can they compete? Can they not compete? Can you postpone an event if enough athletes are affected? Where do you house that athlete? Do you keep them away from others? How do you get them fed? How do you clean the rooms?
His team will have to anticipate every possible healthcare scenario, not only for the athletes, but coaches, staff, volunteers, and millions of spectators. That means everything from sprained ankles to norovirus, heat stroke, a wildfire affecting air quality, an earthquake, even terrorism. He says LA28 will need an army of healthcare volunteers, thousands of doctors, nurses, medical assistants, medical students to cover needs at the games and still maintain services for the LA area.
Probably one of the most important parts of being the chief medical officer really is bringing people together. And I think Cedars-Sinai and the relationship that we have with all of the other major medical institutions within the Los Angeles area, it really is a great opportunity for Cedars-Sinai to bring all of those institutions together for the common good of putting on the games.
Lori Perez, CBS LA.
And it may be called LA28, but the locations stretch far beyond LA. And one South Beach city will be especially busy. Check out this map of all the Olympic zones in Southern California. We're in Inglewood today, which is somewhat central to the local zones. The games extend from the San Fernando Valley to the edge of Orange County. And the city of Carson is gearing up. The South Bay City hosted only one event in the 1984 Olympics. This time, it's hosting 8 events across the Olympics and Paralympics. And this is the view from Sky Cow over the 125-acre Dignity Health Sports Park, where it will all take place. Now, the city has installed a 700-pound countdown clock. They've also started hosting events to get the community involved. We recently talked to Carson's mayor about this historic moment for the city and an athlete who was born and raised in Carson who will compete in the rugby event there.
This is where I started, this is where I trained, this is where I put my blood, sweat, and tears at. This is where my family supported me. Full circle moment for me this is where I started and this is where I plan to end my career as well.
History, LA28, come on now. Right here in the city of Carson, how awesome is that? We're global. We're gonna make everyone that comes to the city of Carson feel at home.
Carson will be home to the rugby sevens, cycling, track, hockey, archery, para-archery, tennis, and wheelchair tennis. And just 10 miles southeast of Carson is Long Beach. That city has the most venues and areas involved in hosting LA28 sports. And still ahead, the major preps and construction projects underway in the LBC. Back to you both.
So exciting. All right, see you again, Rudabeh. The World Cup is fresh on the minds of people in Inglewood, and the Super Bowl and the Olympics, well, they're still to come.
That's right, Pat. So how are they feeling about the international stage at LA28?
CBS LA's Rudabeh Shahbazi at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood with reaction. Rudy?
Pat and Juan, this area has seen so much growth and change. Intuit is just 2 years old and SoFi is 6 years old. And of course, they just saw a lot of action, as you mentioned, during the World Cup in the last few weeks. And there will be more events for Inglewood during the Olympics compared to the World Cup. SoFi will host part of the opening ceremony and swimming, and Intuit will host basketball. Today, we asked Inglewood residents about their thoughts on how the World Cup went and the Olympics ahead.
I think it's great that people are capable of having some family fun, and all the events and the festivals that happened in the community was beautiful. You know, I think it's awesome that we're able to put on for the city and have an amazing impact to where, you know, like we can have families come out, unify, but there's a lot of unique scenarios behind the scenes that I want to know how that money is affecting our community.
Wonderful.
The California Restaurant Association says businesses near SoFi Stadium saw a big boost in traffic during the World Cup, especially the bars and breweries. And a major announcement from an Olympic star. Gold medalist Suni Lee says she is returning to gymnastics for LA28. This will be Lee's third Olympics. She helped Team USA win the gold at the 2024 Paris Olympics. In 2023, the six-time Olympic medalist was diagnosed with 2 kidney diseases. In her social media video today, Lee said, quote, "I know what I'm capable of." And Jim Hill joins us now. And Jim, you have a story about a SoCal skateboarding prodigy, right? Who's hoping to make his first Olympic Games here in LA.
You better believe it. You better believe it. It's one of my favorite stories. That is for sure. You see qualification for many sports at LA28 has already begun, including, how about this, the sport of skateboarding. Culver City teenager Jake Hamilton is one of the hopefuls for Team USA, and he talked with our Gio Pena Lopez about what it'll take to live out his Olympic dream in his hometown.
15-year-old Jake Hamilton is one of the top park skaters in the country and has serious Olympic dreams, all before learning how to drive.
Your driver's permit, is that something you're working on, or?
I think like another half a year, something like that, because I just turned 15, so.
You feel like you'll be able to handle the 405 down to Huntington?
I think so. I think I'll be able to handle it.
The Huntington Beach Skate Park is where Jake spends most days training, but Venice is where he won his first competition at age 4, and it will always be home.
So many kids that are lining saying, "Oh my God, Jake's here today!"
Yeah.
Like, how cool is that?
I mean, it definitely feels cool, and it's also one of those things where hard work definitely pays off just in many ways, just putting in the work and just seeing things happen. You know, it's super cool.
Obviously, Olympics are a dream. What is it going to take for you to be able to qualify for the Olympics?
Just got to keep working. At the moment, I'm in, but just got to keep my spot. And even I'd rather be first than in fourth where I'm at right now. But I always stay motivated and just keep thinking about that. Keep thinking about that gold medal.
I'm hoping when kids watch him and they're rowing, they're like, I could try that. I could do that, because that's what he did. And look where he is now. So to me, it's inspirational.
What's your hope for your future? Just keep getting better, keep progressing, and just push the limits of what's possible on a skateboard, for sure.
And now to another epic CBS LA flashback featuring Jim Hill and the Olympic flame. Take a look.
Look here, Jim. Look here, Jim.
Oh my gosh, how cool is that? That is Jim carrying the Olympic torch for the 2002 Salt Lake City Winter Olympics when it made its way through Koreatown. Jim, that is just amazing. What do you feel when you see that?
I was numb. It went by in a flash, but the torch, I have it home.
Oh yeah?
I stole it. I borrowed it. It's borrowed.
Oh, borrowed, huh?
Yes,
Is that
for a
what we're
long
calling it
time.
these days?
For a long time.
Oh, so cool to see all these flashbacks.
You got that right,
Jim.
that's for sure.
Really cool. Oh my gosh, you guys, what do you think?
Fantastic,
well,
right?
Borrowed it for 24 years. Come on now, Jim. Oh, they gave it to you.
Okay. Pat knows more than I'm letting on to.
Yes, I do.
She sure does.
You'll have to tell me the story later, Pat.
Yes.
Okay, I will. But boy, what a moment, right?
Yes, indeed.
All right. Thank you both. And Rudabeh will check back with you at 6.
And in exactly 2 years from now, the world's focus will be on LA again as the 2028 Summer Olympic Games begin. And CBS LA's Rudabeh Shahbazi is live at one of the host venues tonight, the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. Rudabeh.
Hi, Pat. Well, they're actually hosting an event right now inside Intuit Dome. It's called Road to 2028, and it's focused on climate initiatives to improve air quality ahead of the Games.
Electrifying transportation, we're ensuring more clean energy. Tomorrow we're going to release a white paper that shows we've invested $11 billion into clean energy solutions, EV charging, battery storage, heat pumps in people's homes. And we're also announcing $600 million in commitments to action to invest in EV charging, into cleaner air solutions like heat pumps in people's homes, so that people have a legacy of the Games that live long after, and when the world, millions of people arrive here, that we have the cleanest air possible.
Meanwhile, I spoke with LA28 CEO about some other preparations underway. We talked about security and the politics that could play into it.
Chief Jim McDonald from LAPD said he doesn't believe that there are enough officers to handle the Olympic Games. He doesn't think that the federal government might fill the gap, from what I understand.
Yes.
What's your response to that?
Yeah, I think the federal government certainly is going to pick up any gaps that might be present on the security side. The federal government has acknowledged its role. They've already designated, appropriated $1 billion in initial security funding for these Games, and I feel very confident that the federal government will be there again and help us provide the support that's needed.
Even given the relationship right now between the White House and California, yes, and the back and forth on other types of funding?
Absolutely. Absolutely. This president, this administration, and this Congress have all indicated their support for these Games.
When it comes to size, Long Beach takes silver in LA County, but the city is striking gold at LA28, hosting 11 Olympic events, the most outside LA, from handball at Long Beach Arena to open water swimming, sailing, and rowing, coastal beach sprint at Belmont Shore to beach volleyball at Alamitos Beach Stadium. CBS LA's Leslie Marine with a dive into the city's Olympic history and preparations for the Games ahead.
Wow, explain to me all of this. This is cool.
Like here, I think this is fun. This is like they came on the ships.
Memorabilia of the 1932 Olympics line the halls of the Long Beach Rowing Association boathouse. You can see the rowers competing in Marine Stadium 96 years ago. But now, nearly a century later, that same venue will shine in Olympic glory once more.
So the start is right where the bridge comes down to the sand over there.
Hannah Chupik helps run the LBRA, a nonprofit created after the 1932 Games, and committed to advancing the art of rowing to everyone from rookies to Olympians. Their boathouse sits right on the shores of Marine Stadium.
When you look back at the 1932 Games, did you think in your lifetime you would see an Olympics here again?
I never thought I was going to be part of the Olympics.
A far-fetched dream because unlike the first Olympics, a bridge now cuts across the waters. Organizers can't fit the standard 2,000-meter course. But instead of building a new course somewhere else, the race will now be a 1,500-meter sprint.
What's great about the 2028 Games is that we don't have to build very much permanent infrastructure.
We sat down with Mayor Rex Richardson. Long Beach is hosting more sporting events than any other city outside of Los Angeles, using existing venues like Marine Stadium for rowing and the Convention Center for target shooting. Richardson says aside from the new Belmont Shore Aquatic Center that's been years in the making, 2 temporary venues will also be built.
That comes down after the event. So that really allows us to take our public dollars, our own investments, and invest it into lasting infrastructure, not for one single event, but that we can use for generations to come.
The city plans to invest more than $1 billion into long-term and much-needed infrastructure improvements ahead of the Games. One of the areas that will see some changes, the Belmont Veterans Memorial Pier. It draws in fishermen and local walkers, but has seen limited structural maintenance and is steadily deteriorating. For the 28 Games, it will serve as a grandstand for sailing and marathon swimming.
Yeah, I like watching water sports. It's going to be cool to see it so close.
Pretty excited.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Very excited.
Yeah.
Really cool.
It's something because we were looking, we're like, oh, wow, look, Long Beach has got a bunch of events.
Go Long Beach!
2028 is just a stone's throw away, but we're proud of our progress. We've hosted large-scale events from the Long Beach Grand Prix to 85,000 people a day at the Vans Warped Tour. We know what we're doing, and we're prepared.
In Long Beach, Leslie Marin, CBS LA.
And check this out. SkyCal up above the Olympic classes sailing regatta off the shore of Belmont Shore this afternoon. These are kiteboarders and foiling windsurfers. The event is a tune-up for those campaigning to make their national teams for the 28 Games. And just 2 weeks after the Olympics wrap up in 2028, the Paralympics will take over SoCal from August 15th to the 27th. LA CEO says they will be the biggest games in Paralympic history. It will be the first time LA hosts the Paralympics, which showcases athletes with disabilities. There'll be 23 sports across 7 zones, with paraclimbing making its debut. Other sports include blind football, para-swimming, and wheelchair fencing, basketball, and tennis. The Paralympics were first held in Rome in 1960. And Pat, let's do one more Olympic throwback. Here you are in 2002, running the torch in Los Angeles for the Salt Lake City Winter Games. And Pat, I hear they let you keep the tracksuit and the torch, and you look so good doing it.
Oh, thanks so much, Rudabeh. Wow, you know what? That really takes me back. And I listened to your interview with Jim earlier, and yes, he was kidding. I still have my tracksuit. I haven't tried it on. I think I'm going to be encouraged to do that, and my torch is hanging up in my office. So they gave me that as well. But it was quite the experience, you know, something that is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And
absolutely.
Never forget that day. It kind of gives me chills, Rudabeh, because I didn't know we still had video. So I want to thank Jessica Danowski for actually finding that. And that's something I can add, you know, to my inventory to show the grandchildren. I think they might get a kick out of that.
Yeah, you have to keep that video for sure. It's pretty epic, and I love that you still have the tracksuit. Maybe on the one-year preview, you can put on your tracksuit again.
There, you know what? I'm going to do that, Rudabeh. I hope I can still fit it, but it was such a wonderful time, and you've done a great job out there today. I know you're hot, so come on back home and get some cool.
Thank you, Pat.
Some air conditioning. All right, Rudabeh. And if you missed any of our coverage today on LA28, you can watch it all on CBS LA's YouTube channel. You can also find Rudabeh's full interview with LA28's CEO, where he shares how locals can get cheaper tickets leading up to the Games.